Hello guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Content Monsters, and in today's episode we are going to review the Samsung Z Fold 4. Yes, it's been 4 years since the time Samsung launched its first foldable phone, and it really seems like a long time, and can't believe this is already the fourth version of the Samsung Fold. They've come a long way from that delicate prototype that they launched 4 years back and to this one, which feels fairly good to use from a multitasking perspective and for daily usage, both from a perspective of a smartphone as well as that of a tablet. So clearly Samsung has done a great job in the last 4 years by improving in terms of leaps and bounds as far as its foldable phones go. Now, what is Samsung Z Fold 4 all about? To start off with, I've just started using it a couple of days back, and very clearly there are incremental improvements in this version from the previous one. Samsung hasn't gone all out to come up with some revolutionary foldable, but then of course they don't have that much competition to really push them in this category. Beyond a doubt, they are the leader in foldable phones, and I have no doubt that even this one will be the number one foldable phone in the smartphone space in 2022. And like I said, the primary reason for that is not many brands are coming up with great devices which can really push Samsung to compete hard and come up with some revolutionary features. Having said that, these minor improvements are not so minor after all. Let's see what Samsung has packed in this version of its foldable phone. To start with, let's talk about its appearance, its display and looks. Well, clearly it looks and appears much more sleeker, much more lighter than any of its previous versions ever did. Very clearly it is in terms of weight, it's definitely lighter than the Samsung Z Fold 3. Well, if you hold both of them on either of your hands, you might not feel the difference, but this is definitely around 8 to 10 grams lighter than the Samsung Z Fold 3, and that itself makes a huge difference. The hinges are also sleeker now. In terms of design, it's pretty much the same, but definitely the hinges give it a much sleeker look than any of the earlier versions. The crease in the center still remains, and that is a bit of a letdown that continues, but nonetheless, even when you open it, generally it gives the impression of being a much sleeker and lighter phone, far easier to carry or hold. When you fold the phone, it's very easy to hold. It fits into the palm of your one hand. Purely in terms of display and design, I think I will give this phone a huge thumbs up. Though the modifications have been incremental, but still this one gives it that much of a sleeker look and feel, and you want to hold a phone like this. The 7.6-inch inner display is very beautiful thanks to the latest dynamic AMOLED technology and a refresh rate of almost up to 120 Hz. While the under display selfie camera was fairly visible in the Z Fold 3, in the Z Fold 4 it is hardly visible. So even from that perspective, I think that design has clearly improved such that you can't even see that under display camera, and that's what makes this a much better designed foldable phone than Samsung had ever launched. Now let's talk about the software that the Samsung Fold 4 deploys. Clearly in terms of software, Samsung relies on the Android 12L right out of the box with the well-known One UI 4.1.1, which has been enhanced specifically to accommodate the features of a foldable, and to that extent this software upgrade clearly helps in the daily usage of this phone. You can multitask much more than you've ever been able to do on this foldable phone, and that's precisely why one would buy this phone, because you want to multitask more and you want to do that more efficiently than you ever have. One of the areas within the multitasking space that has improved on this phone is that there is now a permanent start bar in the lower display area when apps are open, which you can use to conveniently switch between your apps or open your apps either in Windows or in a split screen mode for multitasking. This is a huge plus for someone who wants to do a lot of things at the same time on their phone without getting affected by the performance of the phone. In terms of battery life, like its predecessor, the Samsung Z Fold 4 also offers a 4400 mAh battery, but because of the adaptive refresh rate and the improvements in software, I can clearly see a bump in the battery life that this phone offers. I'm reasonably sure this will offer efficiency in terms of at least 15 to 20% in terms of the battery life. Now let's talk about the camera. Now this is clearly the biggest upgrade as far as the Samsung Z Fold 4 goes. Now the primary camera that is being offered but has been upgraded from 12 to 50 megapixel. Now clearly this belongs to the Galaxy S22 series. In addition, there is a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that we already know existed in the Galaxy Z Fold 3. The triple telephoto zoom is available at around 10 megapixels. And apart from this trio of cameras at the back, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 also offers two selfie cameras, and the second one is located under the inner display and has a resolution of 4 megapixels. The under display camera is practically invisible when not in use, unlike the Z Fold 3's inner selfie camera. And to that extent, Samsung has significantly improved the pixel count on the inner cameras, and that is a huge significant addition to this phone. And but primarily, like I said, the back camera at 50 megapixels is a huge improvement, a huge leap over the Samsung Fold 3. And I think that is what is going to really push those who like a good camera on their phone towards also looking at this as an option other than the Samsung S22 Ultra 5G. But as of now, I'd say this one works fairly well, and because of the camera, people who are not just interested in multitasking but also want decent camera output, this one will force people to look at it. In terms of pricing, the pricing in India hasn't been announced yet. It's going to go on sale in the next couple of weeks, but chances are that it is also going to be priced at around 1,50,000 odd, and that is one downer as far as this phone goes. Clearly, the pricing is fairly hefty. It's available in 128, 256 and 512 GB in terms of storage space in black, beige and grey colors. So colors also are something where you don't have too much variety here. It's only these three. I'd give this phone a rating of 7 on 10 still, because it looks and feels much lighter, much sleeker, and a contemporary good looking smartphone or tablet. If you're planning to buy a smartphone in the coming days, you might want to have a look at it. Like I said earlier, do bear in mind the price point may be a bit high, but I'd still say get this one also into your consideration set. Let's see how people respond to this phone once it's available in the markets. If you lay your hands on this one, do tell us what do you think of our review, whether you agree with our review, whether you have been able to find out things which we haven't been able to over the course of the last couple of days since we've used it. We'd love to hear your views in the comment section below. If you like our video, please do subscribe to our channel and share the video with your friends and family. We'll see you soon. Thank you.